All right, I am here at SEY, and I'm here with Tobin, and we got the shop behind us. There have been some updates to the actual cafe, so I just wanted to show that off because it's been a while since I come back into town. I went to the shop, I was like, whoa, this experience is a little bit different. Things have been adjusted, and it's gotten a bit better, and I wanted to show that off. So, we're just shooting this little vlog here. It'll be fun, but let's go inside.
Cool.
We've shot a bunch of videos here. You guys can check them out. You know what SEY is at this point, right?
Yeah.
But welcome to the cafe.
It's been a while since
It has been. It's been a few years, but
the
experience has been
a little updated.
a little nicer.
So basically, I mean, we haven't done a lot of things except for like a few refresh on some of the ways that we do service and the way that we are doing here. We'll let him go first. Do service, the way that we work behind the bar a little bit, trying to just elevate the experience a little bit more, bring something a little fresh. We like to call it, some people refer to it as a glow up. We went through a glow up.
Yeah.
So what that entailed was we got some new service wares, we got some new ways that we operate behind the bar. We also raised our prices to a slightly more appropriate price range for the coffees. Did some work behind the bar, basically just trying to declutter the bar, make it a little more clean operating system, and just kind of give everyone a slightly more elevated experience. A lot of that went into the service wares, so I guess we could get a set of the service wares and look at those.
Yeah, and we can show what that looks like and what the experience is like to, get a cup of coffee at SEY, because to me, it has been such a great presentation of value in coffee. I come here, I can see what the coffees are, but how I'm presented, the experience, right? How I'm presented that coffee and how I'm tasting it, right? It's really elevated, and it's gotten better. It's gotten so much better. I mean, it was already really good, but it got even better, right?
Yeah, we're trying to keep it simple, but keep it really tight and honed in, and but also give a little more touch and visual experience with the coffees. We are still brewing all of our single cups by AeroPress. We seem to find that still to be the best way to extract coffees right now, but we've changed a little bit of the ways that we run our menu. We're trying to keep it exciting, keep it fresh, keep coffees rotating through. We've changed our milk. We upgraded our milk to a small creamery in Vermont. It's all heritage breed cows, A2 proteins, very, very good milk, high fat content. It's very delicious. And the coffees are still great.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I mean, so the coffees, in my opinion, have actually gotten better. The brewing's gotten better. We can show that off in the roastery in the back later, what some of the updates are there. But, the experience that I've always enjoyed here is the fact that you can be at this end of the shop and you can see all the way through to the roastery. We were doing some cupping back there, and people can see us and watch us taste coffees, but that's the transparency. And the transparency has now made it into the actual cups, which we will show you when we order a cup.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's order something. Yeah. Could we get a single cup of maybe the Servio?
Servio, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Got the plants and everything. It's still the same type of vibe where you come in here and it's just really, really, really nice to be in here.
We did some weird things, we updated the bathroom to have a hand dryer.
Oh yeah, the bathroom's a lot nicer.
Hand towels and a candle warmer so we don't get soot on the ceiling. There's a bunch of little things. We're using a KDS system now to keep the bar clean and not cluttered with drinks piling up and lining up.
Yeah, and then you added a bunch of new shelves here as well. So a lot cleaner experience, new glassware, new ceramics, new everything.
Glass shelves. Actually used a high clarity glass to make sure that we didn't get any sort of tints, like filtered sunlight ending up in any green tints. It's it's kind of hard to track down, but it worked out really well. A friend designed and built them. They're looking great.
New trays as well.
New trays. We switched back to our original maple tones instead of the teak, with a little more slender, sleek design. They're a lot lighter, easier to carry. And we switched to this glassware, which is all like very thin glassware, and modded the machines so that we can actually put cold glassware up here during the summer, and then during the winter months we'll switch to having the ceramics up top. But this took quite a bit of work to try to figure out how to keep heat from rising. So put some CPU fans in it to pull air down out of here, like little tweaks here and there. It's nothing that's like super obvious, but just trying to keep it fresh. All right.
Look at that.
These are our new ceramics made by Erin. She's our ceramicist that we've worked for a very long time.
Oh, look
She
at that
does
milk
excellent.
texture. Nice.
Yeah. This will, as it sits here, you'll start to see like the oils accumulate on the top because of the fat content in it. It's like we're basically making bulletproof coffees now. It's funny.
So we're gonna go into the roastery, but yeah, a lot of updates have happened here, and this is what I think maybe some of you guys are more interested in is the updates in the roastery, right? Because everybody
wants to know.
Yeah, everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to see.
Liam, I'll try to keep you off camera as much as possible. That's Liam.
Yeah, this is the actual roaster.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah. The biggest update is probably the Sabda wasn't here before, which is an optical sorter. Helps us sort out low density coffees, that Quakers and things like that. New weigh and fill that is much more accurate and makes everyone's lives a lot less frustration forward back here.
These are new too, right? The
rolling bins.
Rolling bins with the coffees. So just
just
updates.
Been doing a lot of organization in New York, because we work with so little space. It's all about organization,
right?
Yeah, and playing Tetris, and trying to make everything work in a very confined space. So that's kind of the name of the game here, because it gets very, very packed. When it's full, it's full, and we don't have a lot of space to work with. So we try to take advantage of what we do have. Yeah,
you end up building things upward.
Upward, right? Yeah. We're floor to ceiling shelves everywhere now. We've been on the shelf install game for what feels like an eternity.
Oh yeah, I mean, back there also has changed too.
Yeah.
You want to show that?
Yeah, sure. We can walk back here. Also, another thing with the milk is we switched to like glass, which is nice. So we're trying to eliminate plastic waste, recycling. So we've tried to minimize our waste. Is always the game. This is still a little bit of a mess, obviously, but we're trying to get more organized back here. We've got our little office room there.
Things have moved over there.
Yeah, we moved the QC stuff over here. This will eventually be reorganized as well.
Just the Nautilus here, EK.
Just the Nautilus hanging out. And the tone.
Yeah, but
yeah,
still the vacuum.
Still the nitrogen.
Yeah, but I mean, things have gotten a lot cleaner, more efficient in the past. Since we did our video a few years ago, but
yeah, it's been a few years. It's getting better and better as we go.
Is iced coffee still the same here?
Yeah, we're still running the same thing. I believe somebody is in here actually making it right now. We put some new shelving in here. We have more organization around here. It's just like little things that we're really trying to like just clean up everything so it's not so chaotic.
The nice thing about the shop is it was just raining earlier and it's cloudy, but it still feels super nice to be in here. I mean, the lights, the plants, and everything. It just feels good to be in this shop. That's been my experience always. I come here, doesn't matter what time.
Yeah. Even the cozy bathroom. You can get a sneak peek at the cozy bathroom.
You want to see the cozy bathroom? So if you come to the shop, the bathroom's a lot nicer now. If you've seen it before, it is nicer. If that matters. This I thought was fun. This is so much nicer.
Yeah.
So
we get a lot of people trying to drop their. One of our things that we're trying to do is actually like preempt having people bring up their dishes and actually collect dishes from them. But inevitably, people are always going to bring dishes back. And so I wanted to do a very subtle place to set dishes if you're in the need to set them down, instead of having to like pile it here in front of the poor person who's trying to sit at the end of the bar. I can take this from you. Thank you. Yeah. Speaking of which. Thank you. And I don't like butt spins. I don't like those kinds of things. So I tried to just make something super subtle, and we just clear that off. If people drop it off, clear it off as fast as possible. Keep the minimal dish clutter that we can keep. So yeah.
Got some dosers. Oh, those are all the single cups and all that are now
Right.
dosed
So we have
out.
some dosers there. We have the auto doser for batch, trying to get like remove like tins and things like that off the counter.
So it's more efficient.
Is this our Servia? Thank
Servio.
you. Serving the Servia.
Servio.
All right. We still are waiting on our new carafes, so we still have these old carafes, but our new carafes will be one of these tall glasses with a lip on it.
With a lip on it, yeah.
This has been the bane of our existence, having these like very like top-heavy carafes forever. But it'll get there. We're gonna talk a little bit about the servicewares and like why spend time and effort and energy. This was a very actually surprisingly long process to get to a place where we actually just like have a new thing. I think for me, the idea with anything is just to like be constantly trying to get better,
right.
I guess. And we had spent several years with our old glassware and our old ceramics, and though we were very thoughtful and intentional about it the first time, it felt like it was time to sort of like invest energy into this thing that we want to communicate value.
Right.
And like that's kind of our whole thing, is to try to communicate like, why is this small cup of coffee valuable? And a key way to do that is through presentation, through service, through preparation, all of those things. And so it just felt like it was time to update our presentation and to reignite this sort of like specialness that we want people to experience. And so we went with like a new glass for the single cups. It's very delicate. It's like has very good aromatics. People might be familiar with this. With Sense Glass.
Sense Glass. I mean, when I came in town and I got a cup, I was like, what is happening? Because I've been so used to these ceramics. I mean, same ceramicist that makes the latte and cap cups. So I was used to that. But what's been interesting about this is I can literally see the coffee. I can see through it, right? As I was mentioning earlier, literally more transparency in coffee. But more so, this sensory experience is a lot better. I mean, having purpose-built glassware just to enjoy coffee is amazing, right? And the small things that you guys do at this shop, which is like, we're gonna pour some of that out into a cup and let it cool down and let you see the coffee, and you get a card that presents you the information about the coffee. It's like these really small things. It's like so insignificant, right? It's like, why? It's just the card, it's just the thing, right? It adds up. It really adds up, and it builds this experience. It depends on where you live in the world, but here in the States, having a cup of coffee above $5 is already mind-blowing, right? Here, we have cups that are in that 10 plus range, and you might need to do stuff like this that help elevate that a little bit.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, when you're trying to communicate the value of a thing, it is like having aesthetic experiences that are tactile and like the visual cues, and like we are visual beings. Like, we react with our eyes more than anything else. And so every little thing, I think, really does kind of lend itself to that. Like, this is a valuable thing that has been, like, really so much effort and care has been put into what's happening in this cup right now. And if this is, in just a mug or whatever, which is fine, but it doesn't speak volumes to that,
right?
And that's what we want to do, is like speak volumes to that this is special,
Yeah, and the other thing too with these types of coffees, of course, it depends on what type of customer base you have and so on and so forth, is that when you have even something like this really helps tie everything together. Having something that helps you taste coffee and experience the aromatics. A lot of the coffee experience is just aromatics at the end of the day. Right. This helps, say, like, if you've never tasted coffee before, if you've never you've never been in tune with what people are doing, right? You come to a shop like this could be your very first experience, right? It's a very incredibly elevated experience that says, hey, wait a second, there is more stuff happening than just this being like a black cup of coffee, right? As much as people have wanted to go digital, and I love that, right? Oh, great, we're going to go digital, we're going to have the QR code, read more information on the coffee. Having something that you can actually hold with everything about the coffee, right? Who is the producer? What did they do? What are the flavor notes? What is the price? What is the transparency?
All of the information.
All of the information is incredibly important. I mean, for me, I'm like tactile, right?
Yeah.
I can actually hold things. I can actually touch things, right? And the thing with this is like you start to really appreciate what exists in the coffee world, right? I mean, small things like, oh, I'm going to lift up the cup. I'm going to smell it. I'm going to take coffee from the carafe. I'm going to pour it in, right? But
it's very interactive.
Right. And it's
because it is, like, that gives you a lot more touch points, honestly. And it's like, the more touch points you have with a thing, the more you feel engaged with it and the more you feel a part of it, right? And that's why I feel like it's very important for even this, like, to happen, like where you're choosing your serving, you're choosing how much you want to pour in there, you're watching it drop, you're feeling the heat of it, you're feeling it transfer, like it's just like a lot of touch points and like the aromatics that come off of that when you're pouring. I think it just makes it a more interesting experience, really.
And then these are things that are just incredibly simple. Once you start doing this over and over, you go to the shop and you start to see like this is what's out there, right? Like this level of service, this level of presentation, and that interaction for you is just I think it's rarer nowadays. I think kind of two things I do want to highlight since we're here are one, the actual cup price of the coffees. I think it is amazing that you have broken above the $10 range for some of these cups.
Yeah, totally.
I think it should be higher, but
Me too. But
we're getting there. But it's like a lot of that price point, right, goes into into the work and the supply chain and so on and so forth, all the way to even brewing and service of the coffees, right? It's an incredibly complex supply chain, and this SEY to me has always been that shop that says, hey guys, this coffee stuff should be valuable, and you should be able to appreciate it and look at what the work everybody's been putting in. And the shop, going to the shop, I know you guys saw the last few videos we've made. People come to the shop for this type of experience, right? And it's just getting better and better. And this is kind of the current version of it. At this time in 2024 when this video will go out, but it might change in the coming years. But I've always thought this is how coffee should be presented.
Yeah, I mean, I think you talk about when you talk about value, that I think is the important thing, and like value across the entire spectrum of where coffee is coming from, like from the land to the producers, to the people who get it here, to the roasteries, to the staff that are serving it. Like we've managed to actually take this thing and like, we're a small company, but we've also managed to make, I think, what I consider like a very good home for our staff here.
Right.
Another update we had in the cafe is like now everyone has healthcare.
Yeah.
Like, that was huge and it took a long time to be like, cool, how do we actually take care of our people and take care of our people not just on the producing side, but also our people here and ourselves, and like how do we practice this and how do we actually communicate value? We start with valuing all of it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's that front-facing interaction that you, as the consumer, you get, right?
Yeah.
You and having a staff and having a company like SEY actually going out there and say, hey guys, it is possible to make people care about coffee is just, it's incredibly hard work. I mean, I even remember a few years ago we were talking and it was like, it's like you're talking about, taking care of your team, taking care of that, and now, we're seeing it happen, right?
Yeah.
People, I mean, I've come here a lot. I see the same people. The baristas are here. The baristas are happier. Everybody's happier. And you see that, right? You see that retention of employees because you, as a leader, right? You've created these systems and you've created this like a reason to want to work here, right? And I think that's just been quite quite awesome. You guys know I'm the #1 Say fan, right?
Yeah.
I fly across the country to come to the shop.
It's true, you're number one.
In the top, hopefully.
Cool.
But yeah, I just wanted to cover the shop, some of the updates, and have a bit of a conversation on creating value in retail coffee experiences, right? And we're not out there in the shop obviously because they're our customers. We don't want to bother them.
We're hanging out.
Yeah,
here
we're
by
hanging
the
out
bag
in the
sealer.
back. Yeah, with the bag sealer.
While Liam's trying to cup.
Yeah, so production is happening. There's a little workspace. Everything's happening here. But the coffees are tasting great.
Yeah.
God, this coffee is really good. The coffees have been tasting better
really
even because of the Savda and all of that.
Yeah, everything's been tasting quite a bit better.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I might as well.
Yeah, might as well try the milk
here, and we can edit it
there
later.
for a while.
So this is the new milk. Ooh. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing, my first time coming to the shop, you guys were serving a Peru Gesha as espresso in lattes. And I was like,
it's probably a very good latte.
It was a really good latte. And I was very impressed. But the other thing that I distinctly remember, and it's because I perpetuated this online, and people come here now for it, is the iced coffee.
Yeah.
I just ran into a viewer the other day, and he was like, I never had tasted acidity and vibrancy in iced coffee before. And it's like, these are the things, we talk about them and then you guys get to experience them. But, if you are in town, please make your way out to the shop. I mean, you will be able to see, value across the supply chain in coffee. But, this is a very front-facing thing, right? You get to experience this. And I've always wanted to talk more about, creating a very, a high-value retail coffee experience, right? Because everybody knows, I buy these coffees. The coffees are roasted great. The coffees are sourced great. They taste amazing. But there's something about still coming to a shop and seeing it with your own eyes that's very important. And for me, it kind of ties everything about SEY together, right? It's like you can tell when you go to the site, you go look at the webs, you get the coffees, you taste the coffees. You're like, oh, I understand it, but seeing it with your own eyes is still what ties everything together.
Yeah.
And
we want that. We want that high value experience to be across the board too. We want everyone to come in here and feel like they experienced something special. Regardless of what you're ordering. Obviously the single cups are very a slightly more elevated experience because of the coffees that we're trying to highlight, and we want to highlight them. But across the board, we want it to feel like you're experiencing something special in here.
And there's consistency across the board. But it's always a pleasure to come here. And if you are in town, I would make your way out here. It's pretty close to most things. I mean, you can just take the train and show up here and walk right to the shop. That's what I do all the time.
It's very close to a train. So.
Yeah, very close to a train. So very easy to get here. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just want to do an update and show off the coffees and all of that. And
cool. It's good to have you back.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tobin.
Yeah, of course.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.